Yo, yo, USC won, man. They pulled that motherfucking game off. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, Jaden Mayava played horrible. I ain't even lie. He played fucking horrible, right? And I still believe in what I believe in. As far as if, but I'm gonna put a little bit of how you say the Lord willed that game. If it wasn't for, was it Lane and Makai Lemon, the two L's, you know what I'm saying? The two L's, man. LL. I mean, if it wasn't for those two wide receivers, man, we would have lost this game. I mean, and the defense, they actually, started holding water and taking pride in their defense at some point, man, because at first Texas A&M was just killing us. I mean, killing the defense. Offense was sputtering, throwing interceptions, losing the football, things like that. And getting a sack. Running backwards and losing like 30-something yards damn near. I mean, it was crazy. But them boys fought back, and he was like, we're not going to lose to Texas A&M, and we're not going to lose to the SEC. And they got tired, man. We got tired of losing to the SEC. So you know what? Hey, man, shout out to Jaden Mayava. Hey, man, he willed his team back as well. Without him, those footballs would not have got to those wide receivers and the decision making that he made. And I'm not saying that, I said he was doing horrible the whole game, pretty much. He was. But he was resilient. He did not want to lose. And I have to take pride in that. And I'm proud of that young man for stepping up and doing what he did to win this game, man. And now he looks like an all-star because he willed this game back and won it with 8 seconds to go on the clock. And hey, man, it is what it is. Fight on, fight on, fight on. What I would like to see Jaden Mayava do is work on his timing and accuracy, on the off season. Hey, man, there's a guy, Colbert. You need to go look for him. He is Shedeur Sanders' quarterback coach on the off season and during the season. And, man, go to that young man right there because I'm telling you, look at Cam Ward and look at Shedeur Sanders, how accurate them boys throw. I mean, that young man, he's a young guy, and I think he played, I want to say he played for SMU as a quarterback. I think I got a video on him playing quarterback. I believe it was with SMU. I think he played with Bucky. I'm thinking he played with Bucky, but don't quote me on it yet. But I'm just saying, USC did their thing towards the end. First half of the game, it was tied up. It was a sloppy game, defensive game. Second half, Texas A&M looked like they was going to pull away, and then USC said, fuck this. We going to fight back, man, and we fight on. And that's what I'm talking about. We represent that West Coast for real. You know what I mean? And we handled our business, man, and it makes the SEC look kind of suspect, right? Hey, man, that's what the transfer portal does, man. It does to these teams. Now, right now, the standings of the SEC has a record of 4-3. What? In bowl game? Is this correct? Huh. Anyway, so they're a little bit over. But hold on, who won in their bowl games in the SEC? Because I only Tennessee lost. Oh, okay. Texas and Georgia. Who else won? Because Texas A&M just lost, right? So who else won? I gotta look it up. But anyway, I'm excited, happy for USC. Hey man, I hope those wide receivers stay. Um, the running backs did a good job. I wish they would have ran the ball a little bit more, but it is what it is. You know, um, the young man's probably got a bright future at USC. We'll see, man. He just had to change up some things and work on his accuracy, man, with his wide receivers a little bit more and on plays. And if he does that, you can see a 10-11 winning team in USC, especially with the guys they got coming in on defense. And so they got some dudes coming in on defense. And we'll see next season, man. And you know what? I would like to see with USC a lot more discipline, though, man. A lot more discipline with their gear, how they wear their uniforms. A lot more discipline, man, because that tells how your team is going to be. If you got somebody got their back flaps out and stuff like that, that means they're not working as a team. That means they're working as an individual. If one is wearing pants real high and the other one's wearing the pants real low, that means you're not working as a team, you're working as an individual. So it's just a small little detailed things that I see. I watched this with Colorado and a few other teams. They don't allow a lot of that stuff, man. They do not allow none of that stuff on their team. Everybody's got to look the same in unison, except maybe their cleats or something like that. And that's still got to get approved by the coaching staff or whatever. So that's just my take on that. But yo, let's get into the stats. Let's get into the stats on USC and Texas A&M. Let's go. All right. So there we go. I don't want to be right there. I want to be right here. All right. Pull this up. There we go. All right. So the score was 35-31. Now USC is 7-6, and they beat Texas A&M, which is an 8-5 team, and they was once almost about to go in there. The Texas A&M almost was at the top of the conference, and they also had a chance to go to their SEC championship had they not, lost out to a couple of teams. So, and USC beat LSU in the beginning of the season. Now, this is our second string quarterback. Our first string quarterback was benched. I still think that Miller Moss would have beat Texas A&M too. He would have did the same. Because I'm not going to shoot down Miller Moss, man. And a lot of the fan base is not going to shoot down Miller Moss. Some of these guys are going to shoot down Miller Moss. And I think Miller Moss would have put a 40-piece on him as well. 35-40 on Texas A&M. He would have. He would have made the same throws. Jaden Mayava did not do a whole bunch of running. He ran outside the pocket a few times and didn't get very much. And the little that he did get, he got him. But I will say this: great game from both quarterbacks. Great game for exciting, entertaining game. that these teams put together. Jaden Mayaba had 295 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 3 INTs. Look at that. So that's what he's got to work on now. He's got to work on that because every game he's throwing an interception. And people were complaining about Miller Moss throwing interceptions at crucial times, and he did the same thing. Really, if it wasn't for Texas A&M fumbling the bag themselves, USC probably would have lost this game. I'm just going to be honest. All right, Reed had 292 yards. So these quarterbacks were dead even. 3 touchdowns and 2 INTs. Usually the guy who have less INTs win the game. All right, Jackson, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Owens, 56 yards. These are the running backs. Receivers, Lane had 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now that kid talks like Tiger Woods. I was shocked how he talked, man. He had that Mike Tyson voice, and I was thinking he was gonna have a deeper voice like this. And when he came out like this, I was like, but anyway, Jay Barber had 48 yards, 1 touchdown. And this game was 50-50 on a 50-50 game. Nobody knew who was going to win this game. And USC wins this by 4. So, hey, man, great game, great win. I'm excited. But I still think we need to recruit a quarterback or find a quarterback in the transfer portal. We really do. I know Jaden Mayaba, but he needs to be pushed, man, and to work on his accuracy, man, because even though they won this game and everything like that, still, I believe that we need somebody to push him to get better. Because if he plays like that against the Big 12, the Big 10 this coming season in 2025, man, we're going to have the same outcome. We don't want that. We want to be able to compete with Ohio State, Penn State, some of the upper echelon, Oregon, some of the upper echelon, and we're an upper echelon team. And that's what I'm saying. We should have. There's at least 5 games that we should have won. We know we should have won. And then Michigan got this Bryce Underwood kid who can play. He can throw. So I don't know what's on USC schedule for 2025, but I'll check that out down the road. But we need to work on that. And we need to work on run defense. Run defense. Bigger linebackers, faster linebackers, bigger D-line, faster D-line. And our secondary need to work. We need some secondary who are wide receivers, who used to play wide receiver and who are tall, 6 foot and above. We don't need no 5'11", 5'10", 5'9" DBs. We need some DBs that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'1", who could probably play wide receiver, and they could play DB as well. So we need some Travis Hunters. We need 4, 5, maybe 10 Travis Hunters in the DB room. That's what we need at USC. All right, man. But congratulations to USC and Lincoln Riley, because if he didn't win this game, it was going to be more of a hot seat if he didn't win this game. And it wasn't no better than beating the SEC team, for real. I will say that. But, man, it's just a blessing. But anyway, let's go into some of the games. Let's see. Let's go into some of the games here. Let's stretch this out. I was going to pull this up a different way. Let's see. All right. And I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna win these games. All right, so we got Raging Cajuns, Texas, TCU, Texas Christian. Raging Cajuns is a pretty tough team, and this is what you're seeing too. You are seeing a lot of smaller teams starting to beat bigger teams. You're starting to see. Look at UConn right here. UConn is not. They were just in FCS, I believe, last year. I don't know what conference they're in, but look what they're doing in North Carolina. This is also the transfer portal, people sitting out. These games mean something to other teams. And they got to make more incentives for these kids, the top kids, to stay in to play for these bowl games. Or you got to have them sign contracts for these bowl games because and that they're going to get certain type of endowment or payment for these bowl games if they stay, because it's making these bowl games look horrible and people don't want to come. Also, man, these bowl games and some of the destinations like Boise, Idaho, and places. I mean, like some of these fans don't travel well to certain locations that they have these bowl games. And I don't know. And I think also the playoffs, whoever got home field advantage or whoever got a bye should get home field advantage instead of playing on a neutral site. Like FCS. I think FCS, they all play at home sites, man, until they get to the championship. But I know they want to have the Rose Bowl and all these other places, who are controlled by these conglomerates to make sure that they get, their money. I understand. But man, these schools should be able to make the money. That's just my preference, my thoughts on it. Anyway, I think TCU will win this game against Louisiana. UConn is beating down North Carolina. That probably won't happen next year, but with the addition of the Patriots old coach, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. My brain is. I've been dealing with some last couple of days with my blood pressure. So anyway, Nebraska's beating Boston College. They don't have a quarterback for real. And Castellano, I don't know. I don't understand why Florida State got Castellano, whatever his name. I mean, he's horrible. And I don't see that. I mean, unless he work on his accuracy, I don't see him Florida State winning with him. Not like that. Not no big game. All right. Iowa State. Oh, shoot. Boston College is threatening to score right now. I still think Nebraska will win this game. All right. Iowa State, Miami. All right. I got Miami winning this game. I don't see Iowa State beating Miami. Miami got their whole squad. And they ain't getting no media coverage, nothing. Neither one of these teams are getting media coverage for real like that. But Miami is a great team. Their defense is suspect, but at times, but man, they're 10-2, exciting team to watch, and I believe Miami will prevail in this game. All right, Miami, Ohio, Colorado State. In the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Miami, Ohio is a tough team. Colorado State, they can be suspect. I'm gonna go with Miami, Ohio. All right, East Carolina, North Carolina State. Ooh. I'm gonna go with North Carolina State. I don't know. I don't watch those two teams, but I'm gonna go with North Carolina State. All right. Let me go down real quick. Louisiana Tech, Army. How the heck Louisiana Tech get in with a 5-7 record in a bowl game? Okay. All right. I'm going with Army. Any other teams? All right. Grand finale game. BYU. BYU and Colorado. BYU is 10-2. Colorado is 9-3. I want to say this about this Colorado game. I am in support of Colorado. You know this. Don't let this game be like the USC Texas game when Reggie Bush tosses the football and it had all the celebrities on the sideline and Vince Young marches it down and wins the game. Colorado, you need to focus and not worry about what's going on in the sidelines or anything like that, or all this the stuff, the festivities has been going on. You guys need to focus and dominate BYU, because BYU is coming to whoop y'all ass. They want to whoop y'all ass because they don't think y'all are them dudes. They don't think Colorado is them dudes. And I believe if Colorado runs the ball, I want Colorado because their first play is always a pass play. You know, their very first play. You know, it's a scripted play where they pass first. And several times in the game this season, Shedeur has thrown either an interception or yards for loss on that play. Run the damn ball first. Give the ball to Augusta. Let him do what he do, man. Let him do what he do. And defense. Play smart in your gap assignments, because some of fact, they like to run the ball and they do a lot of like option plays within their offense, and then they spread you out as well. But they also, BYU likes to do a lot of trick plays. They do trick plays as well. So you got to be careful of that when you're playing man to man. They looking at, oh, we're playing man to man on them. Oh yeah, they playing man to man on us. We're gonna eat their ass up. So we need that 7-man front. And I know we don't have Hill Green. He went and left for a bag. I understand that. Praise that man for getting his money and going to Alabama. But the next man is up. Okay? Next man up. Next man up. So I'm looking for Colorado to really shock BYU. But I know BYU is going to come and play, man. I know. I'm really iffy on the score, but I think it'll be a close one. But if our defense and I shut down corners can shut BYU down and stop Rozeloff, force him to run and stop the run, if they could force them to make him pass more, I believe that Colorado can dominate this game, especially on a fast track. So they're both mountain teams, so they're going to be cardioed up and ready to play. We can go over the stats real quick. Rosilov has 2,796 yards, 20 touchdowns, 10 INTs. Shedeur Sanders has 3,926 yards passing and 35 touchdowns, 8 INTs. So look at the margin. There's a big margin between Rosilov and Sanders, right? As far as passing. Where we might get ate up is with Martin a little bit. But if we can unleash Augusta, I believe that, man, this sacrifice, and play hard. Man, I believe they run this Augusta, and then Michael Welch should be healthy to run the ball. And then maybe they might throw in a little bit of Hood and Hayden. Oh, man. If they do all of that, if they run 5 running backs in this game, I can see Colorado dominate. But that defense, them Saps, have got to do their job, have got to get to the quarterback, have got to frustrate, and I believe the Saps can. Now, Shedeur, he cannot hold on to the ball. We got to get good pass protection for Shedeur. If we get good pass protection, the front line of the offense, them Hogs up there with Seaton and I think it's Mayers and a few other unknowns that I don't know their names because I don't think Benson is in there. Man, we should be able to handle business, man. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go into there's some other games I want to see, bowl games I want to talk about. Let me see. I know what I wanted to talk about. Boise State, Penn State game, right? Hold on. Let me go to some of these other games. Hey, that Georgia Tech Vanderbilt game was a really solid game. Washington game was a solid game against Syracuse. That was a solid game. They got some talent in Washington State. Man, if they can get some more decent recruits, I could see Washington State doing some things, shocking some folks next season. It's sad that what's happening to Washington State. This Texas Tech game versus Arkansas, where was the starting quarterback? What happened to Morton? What happened to Morton and Brooks? See, this is what I'm saying. They got to start paying these players to play these bowl games because these cats are just sitting out. And this is what's happening. Arkansas won, right? And to be honest, Texas Tech, the main guys that were out, I think this game would have been way more competitive than what you see right here, 39-26. I really do. They did not have Morton. Guy that played against Colorado, he was not in the driver's seat. Okay? Oklahoma Navy game. Oklahoma, I mean, it was just sad. You had Arnold, who just transferred out. I don't know why he transferred out, but I mean, you had the other guy. Some other guys transfer out and sat out, and Navy ended up beating the SEC team, which is a Big 12, used to be a Big 12 team. Oklahoma shouldn't have went out like this. And that's one of my other teams, right? But Oklahoma should not have went out like this. Look at this. They had, I mean, literally, it was dead even. But at the same time, I watched the game. It looked kind of sad. It was looking kind of sad. All right. Matchups. December 30th, Monday. Iowa versus Missouri. It's kind of hard to pick these games because you don't know who's sitting out and who's staying in. But if I'm going to say Missouri as majority of their guys. I'm going to say Missouri, but they haven't looked good all season. They lost 3 games that looked real bad, and one of them was to Texas A&M. All right, Alabama, Michigan. Man, I think Michigan got their whole squad. And Alabama lost some players. They lost quite a few players. I'm going to say on December 31st, Michigan beats Alabama. All right. Louisville, Washington. Man, I'm going to say this. Washington is a scrappy team. I'm going to say, but Louisville is too, but they've had some, Washington beat USC, who just beat Texas A&M. So, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Washington on that. Penn State, Boise State. Now, this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say about this game. And I'm going to talk about this game a little bit more. But down the road. Boise State, man, only lost to Oregon. And they lost to Oregon, I think, by one or 2 points. Let me see. Let me just check into it real quick. They lost to Oregon 37-34. And was in the game the whole game. It wasn't like they were just getting their ass whooped. No. They was giving Oregon them things. Okay? So Oregon beat Penn State. Right? Beat them. So I'm looking at Boise with the upset. Because people are doubting Boise. Ashton Gypsy. And this kind of Penn State and Boise State they kind of cater to each other, the styles, bruising. And I really think Boise State and they pride can go and beat Penn State. So I got Boise State beat Penn State. I do. All right. South Carolina, Illinois. Illinois is a tough team. Sellers is on another level, though. Sellers, I'm going to go with South Carolina on this. Baylor, LSU. I'm going to take Baylor. Baylor. People are sleeping on Baylor, man. Baylor is going to have a nice squad next year and is going to give Colorado and some of the other teams problems. I'm telling you, them and Texas Tech are probably going to be the 2 teams in the Big 12 who's going to give folks problems besides for BYU and maybe Iowa State and Colorado. Baylor is going to be sitting right there, up there with the upper echelons probably next year, especially with who they got already. I'm going to go with, like I said, Baylor. Ohio State, Oregon. I got Oregon. Everybody think because they think Ohio State is going to beat Oregon because they beat Tennessee. They beat Tennessee in the freezing cold. In the freezing cold. So I'm looking at the last time they beat Ohio State. It was a close game at Oregon, right? But I believe in this second matchup, a lot of times when you face a team twice, you get beat twice. It's even them fighting, you'll see them. They got confident enough to. And the funny thing, Oregon ain't really chippering or nothing. They focus, bro, and they fast. Oregon is fast. Okay, with Dylan Gabriel, they not chirping, they not nothing, not tripping or nothing like that. So I got Oregon in this game. All right, Notre Dame, Georgia. I think this is an upset. I think this is an upset unless the referees get into this. I think Notre Dame can beat Georgia. I do. And now they don't have Beck. They have this other kid, Stockton or whatever. The only reason why I think that Georgia beat Texas this last game because they wasn't prepared for the second quarterback. And they were able to protect them with the run game down the stretch. And then Hewitt just played horrible. I think that Notre Dame could dominate Georgia. I really do. I really do. Watching them play and convincingly, bro, they're no punks, man. And I think their defense can match up with Georgia's defense as well. Their defense can match up with Georgia's offense. I really do. They do not play around. They can stop the run. They can do all type of stuff, man. I think they've grown from the game against NIU. But like I said, these small schools, they can beat big schools. They're not backed by the major conglomerates. These smaller schools. Okay, so I got Notre Dame in this game. Texas, Arizona. This is another one. Okay, this is another one. I believe this is another upset. Okay, Arizona is not chirping either. They just gonna come out and play, bro. Arizona, without their quarterback, they will lose. Now, let me say this: if Texas play Hewitt and not Archie, it's gonna look crazy. This game is gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, because Scotabo can run that thing. And then Arizona State's defense can play, just like Texas. My favorite dude on Texas is number 4. Number four, that dude that hit the Stockton kid, man. If you watch his plays through that whole Georgia game and some other games, even the Vanderbilt game, bro, that kid comes to hit. Okay, number 4 on Texas. But Arizona, man, they got them dogs over there on their defense. All right. And their quarterback, he's pretty decent, man. So I smell upset alert on this game and the Notre Dame Georgia game. I'm gonna say Arizona may pull this game off. All right. Duke, Ole Miss. I got Ole Miss. North Texas, Texas State. Texas State. North Texas. Let me go with North Texas. All right. Minnesota, Virginia. Minnesota. Buffalo, Liberty. Liberty just lost their quarterback to Colorado, so I'm gonna go Buffalo. North Dakota State, Montana. Ooh, Montana looked good, man. And Montana State looked good, but they beat some good, decent teams. North Dakota State, they lost to Colorado. Who they lose to in the FCS? They lost to Colorado, and they lost to South Dakota. Wow, man, they beat Mercer stupid, 31-7. My homeboy's son played for Mercer. He's an offensive lineman, number 74. Shout out to my homeboy Dunk. You know, his son is big. I think his son is like 6'7" or 6'8" on that offensive line. Um, go back. Who did Montana beat? I gotta scroll all the way down. It was Montana. Montana hasn't really played anybody. I mean, in their conference they have, but they ain't play nobody big outside of their conference. Uh, if North Dakota State got all their team, I'm going with North Dakota State beats Montana. But Montana are them dudes, so I'm gonna go with North Dakota State. All right, y'all. Yeah, so it is what it is. Um, so anyway, yeah. But anyway, man, that's my take. Hey, please look me up, Coach Cali Sports Talk on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. Also, go to DJ Killer Cali on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button on my uh, DJ channel, and like all the in the dojo mixes. All right, and then also check out New Legacy Martial Art Academy. Please support the channel and check out all the tutorials and things like that on my channel. Also, you can hit me up right here, Cash Apple Brother, and support the channel as well. And I'm also on X, Coach Cali Sports. And yo, man, to the next time. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this.